going to start talking. Big. Oh, shoot. Okay, hey guys, how's it going? I think I unmuted that by accident. Little sensitive button here for unmuting. Little bit of a delay. I know Mike's not starting till about the next 10 minutes for Barstow. My son's still here because, well, I guess his mom and grandma's not here to pick him up yet, so I'm going to try to get that out of the way, but while we're starting here, I might as well get things underway. He's on the computer. I'm thinking the stream's okay. One that works. Oh, okay. That was just in response. So, alright, looks like the stream's okay. I don't know what the health is. Looks good to me. Dave's on. Okay. Okay, so let's deal with what we got going on for tonight. First of all, just see what's going on in the yard. I don't even think I need that. Everything's fine. It used to be, well, the health is orange. I don't know what that means. My son's on the computer, so the stream might not be too good for the next little bit. How much bandwidth he's using, probably not much, to be honest. So let's see here, let's just check with Barstow on here. We got going on last instructions as expected. We were going to have 110 minutes tonight. I don't think there has, according to this, there's been no other work performed. We have this will be the first hump, tracks 9 and 10. And that was per instructions. It's been available since the 8th, but I didn't think anybody was going to take it over the weekend. I wasn't sure, but just in case, I figured maybe not. Let me just put the volume down a little bit here. Try to keep the volume down of the TV so I can actually hear myself speak. So, yeah, we know right away what the first moves are going to be. And because today is July the 10th at 8:25 p.m., we do have other trains that will be available to hump as well. So we're going to start looking at that. I'm just going to check the chat inside. I'm not checking the chat inside the live stream, so if you guys are chatting or asking questions, I'm not in it. I just don't have the extra monitors to be monitoring chat and everything. I got too much going on here. It's been on for quite, yeah. Just left. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we got 110 meds, which is about 2 hours. Hopefully we get started. I'm going to start just from my perspective as to what the plan is. We already know what the first train is going to be. We're going to be dealing with tracks 9 and 10. Because this is automatic, and I've done videos on this before, but tonight should be pretty good live stream edition as to what's going on. hopefully it's not too boring or strung out, but the whole purpose of going through into the live streams and increasing the size of the videos is to provide more content and give you an idea of what we're thinking or how we're handling things and how you would handle things if you were in the yard. So what I'm doing here is I'm highlighting blue. This is anything that's editable in this is actually you have to have Yardmaster access. I'm not the owner of the California server, but Yardmaster access normally would be something that's granted via the owners, and then if that's something that you're interested in, it's fine. But normally, to be a Yardmaster, you're going to have to be someone who is doing yard work on a regular basis or trying out various yards. And if you're not, I mean, just giving access to something that you're not already participating in seems kind of useless. So, back in around January, I think, Mike first, I was the owner of the California server. I gave Mike Yardmaster access very quickly because I needed to fill in some voids over the winter and into the early spring. Eventually the talk came around where I was looking at getting rid of the California server so I could focus back on the RTS software, and it's just as simple as that. We're looking for dedicated people. We're looking for people who doesn't necessarily have to have all the time in the world, but is able to do things. Now I'm monitoring my phone here because I should get a phone call shortly. As I said, this is something. Yeah, I figured they'd be here before 8 o'clock. I told them I was going to be busy by 8, but I guess that doesn't matter. So my kid's not interested in this. It's too boring, right, Emmett? Yeah. But you like trains, though, right? Oh yeah, you love trains. But I don't know. Not enough eye candy for him. It's all this boring yard work, I guess. But he likes coming to me. He loves the Model Railroad Club. I want to get rid of that. Oh, he doesn't want me to get rid of that. He loves the Model Railroad Club. Okay, so I found a second train here, which would become available July 8th at 8:40. So that was available 2 days ago. So that's fine. Cadiz is in a rival yard to be available July the 11th. That was released on time. When a train's not released on time because of delays, scheduling delays, then we can amend it, which we have done for this train here. So that one is not available. I believe it's not going to be available until, if I can scroll down here, see the rest of it, July 14th instead. I want to make sure Mike didn't sneak in on me. So we're coming up to 8:30 right now. We would do this planning usually, make sure we know what's going on. But this is going to be the third train right here that became available 4:40 yesterday morning. And the plan will change throughout the night. We know what's going on to begin with, just based on the priorities and how we've already set up. So back on July the 8th, I marked these instructions, and really nothing has changed here. And since it's both myself and Mike, I don't need to change these Yardmaster instructions because I will be changing them probably at the end of the night once the 110 minutes approximately is up. This stream's probably going to be going for at least close to 11 p.m. Eastern tonight, I'm thinking, at this point. Of course, now I don't know what's going on with the pickup here. Unfortunately, I've been inconvenienced, to say the least. Not because of Mike. Mike's usually here at 8:30. That's not what I'm talking about. I wanted to do this stream at 8 o'clock this evening. I said, I got plans at 8 o'clock this evening, and of course, them's the breaks. So, I mean, I changed my schedule, but you know, I'm just grumbling now. So I'm eventually going to get a phone call, and then I'm going to have to step away for like 5 or 10 minutes. So let's see here. Everything else is pretty much, so we got the 3 trains set up. This is a small one. I think we were already looking at this. So what we're doing is we're making sure, so we've got 22 cars that are coming in here. We're making sure these 38 cars are going to a departure yard. I'm going to take a look at what's in the area as well. So I want to go into the external dispatcher. Actually, I want to go into the forum first of all. Make sure we're set up for that. Now, I'm not starting until I have the hump operators available. He should be here any minute. But at the same time, I'm not going to start until I can have 100% concentration on this. So hopefully this all happens within the next few minutes. Unfortunately, I apologize for the delay, but it's circumstances beyond my control, unfortunately. What do we got? There's Mike. Okay, so now I gotta let him know what's going on. Okay. So anyways, we go into the forum here. It would probably be easier for me to start the hump, but then again, once I start the hump operation, then I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I get called 10 minutes, and then I got to jump on a dime basically to get to everything. So once that phone rings, I'm gonna be muting this. So we'll go into the yard, Barstow here. July the 10th, just July the 10th, Barstow. I will be running Barstow tonight very shortly. A couple of hours. That's all you have to do with that. I don't have to post anymore. Everything else will be on here tonight. Okay. So I'm just telling Mike now, we had talked about this on Thursday, what was happening. We wanted to make sure that a train was available for the weekend. So we got that set. Just in case somebody wanted to, and like I said, this is a 2-man operation, so I really can't have him starting. I could, theoretically, but the only problem with that is these 2 tracks here, he's going to be in trouble. Maybe I should get him to start anyways. Okay, let me talk to him about this and see. Normally, like I said, I would get into trim. He's got to get down to the west end anyways and set up. You plan something and then this happens. It's really, you know, it's not your fault, is it, Emmett? No, it's not your fault. But What you playing? Oh, okay. You don't want to watch me? No? I should have your mom stay outside when she calls. She's delaying me now. Or I should call her back and say I'll drive you home later. That ain't gonna work. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. It ain't gonna work. Trust me. I gotta jump a mile high for her. Don't work the other way. Get used to it, kid. You're a man, or you're a boy, but you'll be a man. When a woman says jump, you jump. Yeah. That's just the way it works. Okay. I don't know what to do here. This is ridiculous. Like I gotta work the trim. I've got to work the trim. I got a hump operator waiting for me, and I'm on a live stream. And your mom's gonna call any minute. Like, come on. Boy, she's gonna hear it. Absolutely ridiculous. So I will post a message to, once this is up on YouTube, I will post a message when we actually get underway, because I'm just wasting bandwidth like crazy here. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see if he wants to go for trim. Oh, he's already asking me questions. Roger that. So I'm waiting for a phone call. Absolutely ridiculous. I told him, I said, I got plans at 8 o'clock tonight. I don't mind you coming a little bit into it, but I've had fun today. I haven't been working. We played video games all day. Oh, we exercised too. We walked a bit too. So. We went out a few times. So, whoops, W's. 3 times. Wow, 3 times in about an hour walk. Yeah. Let's see here. I suppose I can do hump if you want trim, or I can just try and start. This is crazy. It's like it's 8:40. Of course, nobody has a cell phone that works either. Your mom has a cell phone. She never turns it on. Your grandma, she don't have a phone. No, I'm talking about in the car. You know, when you want to get a hold of a person, and when they don't get a hold of me, they freak out. I don't know what works best for me. Jeez, this is crazy. Like, it's 8:40. This is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, well, let's check what's going on the server, I suppose. I don't know what else to do at this point. I'm gonna go ride with somebody here. At least keep this interesting. Oh, this is crazy. 8 o'clock, I said. So what are you doing? Well, don't get into too much. I want you ready. Like at a minute's notice, buddy. I mean it. I ain't playing around. It's not your fault. This is totally on your mom and grandma. Alright, let's see who's on the server. Ride along with somebody, at least make it entertaining. Oops, get out of chat here for a second. So I was going to put it, oh yeah, I already set it up for external dispatch, I believe, so it should be good to go here. So you're going back in? Yeah. I'm going to try calling your mom while I take a look at this. Just muting the speakers for a minute here, or the microphone. Okay guys, I just got an update, so I'll be a few minutes. Upstairs now. Okay, so we should be starting in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to mute the microphone. And I'll be back very shortly. Okay guys, sorry for the delay. Usually there's no problem. We get a long grade and everything. So I don't know what time you want to start at. Want to start at 50 minutes after? I'm going to get a drink. Not that kind of drink, but okay, so we've agreed to start at 50 minutes after. Mike has got, we're going by his clock. Oh good, his clock is actually more accurate now. It was like 2 minutes off from mine before, so that works out good. So we're about 1 minute underway here. With 110 minutes, that gives us 850 up to 1040. And what I mean by that, gives us to about 1040. That's not a dead set line. I'll go into the live form here. I'll show you what I mean. So, we've got 110 minutes available today. That's just an outline or a guide. So he's operating the hump. I'm operating the trim. I will take views from the hump so that you can get to see what's going on that end as well. But for the most part, I'm going to be focusing on what I'm doing. So I start going into the registry with Barstow trim form. Not Barstow Yuma route. You want to go into BNSF Barstow switching district, and you just start this out by hitting 0 and submit it. This is a guide for me. Normally when you're humping, you don't want to have this screen up because you want to have all the resources on your end. It's 50 minutes after. And he says, here I go. And here I go as well. So the idea of having two-man crews here, I'll just get a little bit closer as if I was on. Oops, I'm actually forward. I gotta go forward here first because I am in the so I shift Z until I get the there's the screen I want. I want to be able to see the actual notches and everything. So we will be communicating with each other and operating at the same time, virtually. Whatever the actual cycle time is not as important as the time that we are running within the past. So because there's 110 minutes available, we're actually as if we're running about an hour or 2 hours in the past right now. But we are going to catch up because you can at this point hump the yard 36 minutes a day on a 40-day cycle for 24 hours. You can actually hump the yard maybe once every 2 to 3 days on average, and that's pretty much what we do. But that's not saying that you can't hump every day as well, and once AI comes, that's going to be a totally different ballgame. And he's headed to the west end. I've got a set my speed here, my speed control. I don't have it set yet, but I'll wait till I get on board first. See, conductor's going to get on, or one of the switching crew, not necessarily the conductor, but get on at this end. Grab the bar. And now I will set our speed. So we're going about 12 miles an hour, which is okay. It's going to slow down in a second. And then, okay, so I set the, I hit Control C and set the speed control at or around 10 miles an hour. Every yard, you have to get used to the grade. In this one, everything rules towards old yards, so I'm actually going uphill right now. Speed control works great going this way. On the other way, you got to watch yourself. So I'm going to get on this side now. Whoops. Now, see what's going on. I did bring a snack over here and I don't know what I did with it. Dang it. I don't want to lose food. That's not a good sign. Okay, so we got 104, 105. Okay. I need to find my food too. That bugs me. All it was just like a cereal bar or whatever. So now I just walk down and make sure our switches are lined up. We're good here, I believe. And of course he walks a lot faster than a real life guys. He's doing a pretty good run actually. This is like really fast and then you can go really fast. It's kind of crazy. They used to have a nice slow, and I've mentioned this before. I probably mention it every time that I do one of these videos. They used to have a really nice slow walk, like an actual walk, but I guess it was too slow for some people or something. I don't know. I'd much rather walk at a realistic speed, quite frankly. But whatever. Oh, Control F8 just to get the tags on. You hit it twice. Of course, once again, I'm just going to take a look at the screen one more time. We are doing 104 and 105. That wasn't what I meant to see. That is Rick and Stockton. So it should be coming up here. I just starting the engines back now. Turn the bell on. That way I hear it, and I can hear both of them right now, so this worked perfect. And Stockton's already switched as well, which is perfect. And communication's important. Now that bell will get my attention when my engines get real close, and then I can slow it down. Gotta find my food on the way out too. So I'm just letting him know. He's not at the hump yet because the hump controllers haven't come on, but he'll let me know as well how close he's getting. So we keep the speed control under 10 miles an hour. I'll turn the bell off. So I've already closed. I'll double check to make sure the ankle cock is closed, which it is. Control F7 to bleed it. Take care of the parking brake. And slack's starting to come in, and we're good for there. So now what we want to do, let ourselves start rolling. And I'm going to hit Shift F1 right here. That saves my position. And then I start the count on the way out, and I got to watch the speed. So, oh, there it is. It's behind my rail controller. Just a little bar, huh? So I'm watching the speed. It is creeping up. I got the display below on the rail driver as well. Just basically keeping the communication open. Once it starts creeping towards 10 miles an hour, then I'm going to back off on the throttle, which I'm going to do right now. Remember, speed control isn't going to work going downhill. Okay, so he's rolling into R10 from the west. I got plenty of time then at this point. And I got to put the dynamics on him already. I'm going to put indies. Just a little bit of indies until I got dynamics to catch, which they are now. I've released the indies. So I'm controlling the grade. Now the reason why I'm watching, sorry I'm talking with my mouth full here. The reason why I'm watching that counter is because I'm using that as the eyes of the conductor. It's important when you're in the yards, especially when you're coming over all these tricky tracks. We know the one crossover was set because we came from right to the right. So we know that that's set. Now we had somebody, I believe it was in West Colton yesterday or something like that. Now this happens. I mean, the person felt bad and everything. It happens all the time. I've done it. I've done it maybe a month or two ago. It's so easy to split switches, but there are ways, and it's just a matter of if you're doing too many things at once. So you want to keep in the engine as much as possible as you're going and use the tools available. So, oh, we do have a train in the area too. Now I did a reboot tonight. Hopefully, sometimes you get disappearing cars, but let's see here. Okay, there we go. So there's the hump, and we've got another train coming through. So that's cool. We'll get a little bit of action. Counter's down to 3. It doesn't really matter if it goes to 0 or not. Now I'm okay looking ahead. So I hit Control 1, and that puts me back to my saved position. You can save multiple positions. Sorry for the delay tonight. I apologize. Circumstances beyond my control. We're rolling now, and I'll put some comments later on. Let me put the indies on. Probably won't go too fast, but that's okay. I'll take one more look ahead, which I'm fine. Just want to make sure I wasn't over anything. Because if you are over something, you can still get out of it if you've accidentally split a switch. So what I'm doing now is putting it in reverse, taking the dynamics off. Okay, so he's rolling towards the hump now. That's why he was heading westbound. So it was important that I got Rick and Stockton cleared. This is taking a bit of a push. Notch 2, it wouldn't move. So again, you're going uphill, so. And from here, I can hit my Shift 1 to this position now. I wish I had an air position. I'm going to use F3 for now because there will be a train coming by shortly. Now you want to connect at 4 miles an hour, I'm probably going way too fast. Look at that, baby. Okay, I just released, as soon as I hit it, I released the parking brake, so it just moved naturally, which is starting to slack forward. The train brakes are now bled. At this point, he can start walking on his own, so I don't have to worry about the safe position any longer. Now, what we want to do is we want to take a look at the yard situation here. As we see, we got a main line coming on main 4. San Bernardino, Chicago. That was built in San Bernardino yard. We're not worried about, he's not coming into the yard. He's still going. I don't believe he's cut. No, he doesn't have inspection set, so I assume he's not a train set for inspection. Right now we got north 1, north 2, south 3, or south 3, south 4. So north 1, north 2, south 3, south 4. So this is important. And there we go. So Rick and Stockton are both south departure yard tracks. In this case, we're not too far out of the south departure yard. I would say we're about 1,000 feet. So what I will do is I will start us forward. And I'm going to use an estimate here. I'm going to start the counter again at 4,038 feet. I'm going to run it for until there's about 1,000 feet left. And again, I'm moving downhill. And I'm not too sure if we can see the... Where's this? I think the signal bridge is over that way. Or is it up ahead? A little hard to see. We're still pretty bright. 6:04 Pacific Daylight Time right now, so still plenty of light out west. So I might be able to do a roll by. Now what happens is when you're working a yard, I purposely did a reboot tonight before I went online so that I had plenty of resources. There is ways to see the memory available here. We're at only at 990, at least I am, so it should be okay. Oops. Putting these in. Taking these off there. Now I got the dynamics going. So now here's where you want to watch the switches very carefully. This road is where I always tend to split it. It gets really tricky. It's not a... This part's not so bad because these normal up. Okay, the hump controller's going. And I'm going too fast. I'm going about 11 miles an hour because I'm not paying attention. Dynamics up here a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to get them up much higher to full dynamics. It's not so much the crossovers here, but what happens is 2 tracks turn into 1 up here. And it's often used by both ends. So you want to have that, you want to make sure that that's set. I can't see the target from here, so I'm going to take it easy. Now I will go back to my conductor view for a moment, just to see where I'm at. And the reason why I'm doing that Now again, I'm clear. Now I'm clear the bull, which means he's okay. The only one that he's got to watch is 114, which he should be okay. But I will advise him. And he's aware of 114 that because he's got such a large train, it might overfill. So this is where I want to watch up, right up here, make sure the target's okay. Train going by us very shortly here as well. And the target's good, so I've released the indies. This is the tricky one. If that's a normal target and then you were on it and you went to back up, you'd have problems. Again, I can't see those signals down there, but he's probably mainline train on the horizon. So in this situation, I'm going to fly to. Unfortunately, I can't use. I can go back to control 1 here. But in this situation, I want to be in the tower. See what is happening. I'm by that switch now, so I'm okay. So here's a situation. We got the south departure yard is used for anything going to Bakersfield or Cajon, whereas the north departure yard has direct access to the Needle sub. So while that's rolling, what I want to do is take a look at when these trains are. Stockton should be going very soon, whereas and he's already set for South 4, so that's an indicator right there. So we have to stop the train, and that conductor would have walked by now over to this position here. So from here we go to the F3, easier to the external dispatcher, and see how things go here. There is a possibility that the yard will overfill. South departure will overfill. Will actually overfill more likely than north, just because of the size. So we got to keep an eye on that. We know the car counts. We don't have the total footage, though. At least it's not calculated. So, looking at the Stockton, we have 27 in the bowl and 42 in the departure, giving us 69 cars on one of the second shortest track. I'm going to take a look at how that plays in while that's rolling in slowly. And there's a main line coming. And as you can see, there's the amount of space available. So I'm feeling pretty good, depending upon how much there's in the bowl here. Let me just take one quick look again. Yeah, 27, I think we're fine. So once I'm connected, I'm going to go back up into the tower. And to be safe, I just roll this in case we do overshoot it. I roll it out that way, just to be safe. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'll double check that, and if it's not, then we're going to have to pull it forward and put it into another departure track, or make other arrangements. In rare situations, we will use the north departure yard for a westbound or northbound, if there's room. So we got the Stockton cars here connecting at a short speed. We got an intermodal train that's going to be coming through any minute now. Yes, indeed it is. The beauty of MP. Immediately, as soon as it connects, I let go of that. I let go of that whole. I'm going to turn the bell on. Like immediately, I let go of that parking brake, because what happens is it's not a natural situation. As soon as you connect, all the handbrakes go on. So immediately, I flick the manual parking brake that applies, and I release it immediately. From there, now in this case, we got quite a heavy train, so I'm going to put the sand on because I'm going to notch 5 just to give it a little bit more. It's going to need it. And from this position now, I am in the tower. And we'll get to see the run through as well, so this is going to be good. And as you can see, I got the microphones. There's the intermodal train rolling through. And we look down this way, we can zoom even further. You can see the cars are going over the hump. That's Mike operating the other end. So yeah, this is the way Barstow should be. Of course, we don't have as many main lines right now because we don't have as many people running crews. But this is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and do a notch 6. Go back to normal here. And there could be another guy at this speed, could be going and actually selecting the pin. I won't bother with that at this point, just because I got a nice view from the tower of this train, so I'll deal with that at the moment. Going 4.6 miles an hour, so that's a pretty good speed. And not put it back to notch 5. There's Ezra going through. He's been posting a lot of screenshots over on Train Sim lately. Some of our sessions. He's got, I believe his thread is a journal. Run a journal, I think it's called. It's kind of cool because Train Sim forum is. Unfortunately for Run 8, it's fairly dead, so it's nice to see the activity. And everything's smooth too. I'm finding with my, maybe even smoother than what my server was. I used to have stuttering. I'd see a little bit of stuttering back and forth. I don't see it as much on Mike's server, even when I'm connected. Oh, there's the Richmond cars now, so... Normally I would have had the coupler set up. So at San Bernardino you got the containers and then you got the trailers. And there's a whoops. Not too sure what happened there. That could have been some lag on his end. This train just disappeared suddenly. I'll get it going a bit more here. I let go of it too soon and I lost it. Alright. So I got it back to notch 6 now. I don't want to push it any more from that. So what I can do, just to speed things up a little bit, go down here, open up the coupler. You don't have to worry about angle cocks because Control F7 bleeds all the brakes out. And you're not worried about rolling, so that's fine. And then just hit the indies. And I just heard the cars roll off. Perfect. Might have his brights on, but let's see. Looks like he's got his brights on. Alright, so got a pass by there. Now, Stockton was already assigned for us. Richmond, I think it's Richmond. I always get that confused. Because I think of Richmond, Virginia, but it's not. I think it's Richmond, California, I guess. So, we are... What I do with this one is I often see whereabouts we are. Stockton's a good one because Stockton runs twice. Richmond isn't usually that big. There's other trains coming up, but it runs relatively early in the next cycle. We are all the way down to here. In fact, we are past here. I think we're in this area, so we got some trains that are delayed in departure, which do need builds. You got another train, Stockton, that's coming this way is actually last reported at Tehachapi on today's date, July the 10th. So the reason why I'm going through that here is for the assignment, I'm going to go ahead with South 5, the shortest track. If it's early on, if it's really early on, like say it was one of these tracks that just had a departure, I probably would choose South 1 or South 2 because they were bigger, especially if it's often a big train going out. But for in this case, I'm going to use South 5. If the yardmaster does not assign a track ahead of time, now I didn't, which probably I should have, then that is up to your discretion, and you can certainly communicate that. If Yardmaster has not given you any instructions, then that's no problem here. Okay, so South 5, we have not fouled anything on this end. Everything is good. And we are going to go into South 5 with the remainder of our cut. And I don't think we'll need the sand now. I think I turned it off. Well, no, I think it was on, so I just turned it off now. Wish I had a little S show up on there, because you don't want to turn the sand off if you're going too hard on the throttle. Even having, I mean, I know you can have the You can have the amps, I think, show up on the rail driver, but just knowing what's at that end, and a counter. All that information is vital information, depending upon where you are, and sometimes you can't be in the engine. In this case, this is just simply watching the train come down. So again, we have a 10-mile-an-hour restriction. So he's giving me an update with 25 more cars remaining. And while that's going on, I'll show you what's happening on his end. And there he's. So we're going into R5. We'll go take a look at how he's making out. And as you can see, indeed, the 25 cars. He's got 2 tracks full of. The inbound couldn't even fit in one track, so. I'm curious how 114 is. Eventually I'm going to have to pull 114. And I might do that in between. And I'm going to let him know right now. Probably a good idea already. Had quite a bit in this portion, yeah, that's good. So yeah, you got to be. But not only does the trim have to pay attention, but the hump has to pay attention, and this is where the teamwork plays in. Normally, he's in the full train, so at some point, if he gets an overfill, or if he's about to have an overfill, he has to advise me and get me down there as quick as possible. So this is where the teamwork. This is why this yard works horrible as a one-player yard, and I know. A lot of people like Barstow, and I know a lot of people have shied away from Barstow because of going to this whole clock system. This is all about, because Barstow is basically the center. Turn that bell off there. Because Barstow is mainly is basically the center of what goes on. Then. Having it suddenly not be efficient, especially when version 2 comes out and you got AI and all those other things going on, is going to make it quite difficult. So I'm flying in from the tower here. My duties in the tower is over. At this point, I'm back on the ground. I didn't save a position down there, so. About brakes here. It'll roll a little bit, but it won't roll too far. And it's not going to roll that way. Or I should say, yes, I apologize. Yes, it will. Forget I said that. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was thinking that along a kicking car. Kicking cars is optimal because then they won't roll back on you, especially if you kicked it hard enough. But in this case, I didn't have it set up, so in that case, five handbrakes I just set right there should be fine. And turn the rear lights back on. So this is where timing becomes a situation. Now I can go in to a yard that or track that he's not working, and I may do that depending upon how much he's got to do. In this case here, even though it is a two-man crew, technically there is a yardmaster on duty. So at this point now, I can hold and see what the status. As you can see, 114 is filling up. Now he's advising me how much he's got left. So I am going to switch over to the role of yardmaster. The trim is now standing by. Had he been in a single player situation, what would have to have happened, this whole standby period, this is quite common. The hump does it too. If I'm in there and I have to trim cars out of the way, now luckily I was able to clear 2 tracks while he was moving to the west end. But in this situation is I'm standing by, and you know, I might have my snack. We used to have breaks and lunches and all kinds of stuff set up for these guys. We stopped doing that. We realized there's too much idle time in between, enough that, you know, we could do this on the run basically. So 114's coupling up right now. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the plans ahead. So I'm not updating this anymore. I'm not updating this one, but I'm seeing what the plan is. We're still going with this one, but now I'm in a situation where, yeah, I could update the I can start updating this because I am a yard master, and I could update these sheets, but I do have to look ahead. Do I just want to pull 114? Or do I want to go ahead and do more? Now, looking at 114, as you can see, we have poles set for all the 114, and it's various locations, so there's a lot of sorting available, which might be an ideal time to do it, although the local yard is very sorted. In fact, there's some stuff that got moved from the local yard to old yard for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I guess somebody was bored. But there, in some situations, I guess there was too much time on the clock, so people just thought, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and use whatever time available, and unfortunately there was really no clear instructions, so you know, that's the yard master not having clear instructions set up, or it was just a waste. And you know, there's nobody to blame, but you can go, you know, you can't blame the crew. The crew's looking at the time available and saying, oh, okay, this is what I got. And unfortunately, it was wasted time. But we're in good condition right now. Unfortunately, we have these departures we have to get out. They're fine, but we want to get San Diego. We want to get the last 6 cars out from San Diego. So that's the next one. He's got 6 here, and I'm going to see what he's doing as far as communication. The final 114 is rolling now. Okay. So I got about a minute to get ready for that. So, anyways, this is all about a game plan. He's still in the middle of this one here. He's not overfilling. These indicators here are for nothing else. There's instructions here, and then 114C hump, which is what we've already done. We're seeing the hump. We're making the move in between. We've decided to go with it. But eventually we do have to get San Diego over, except I don't know really. At this point, I might just go ahead and call a build on this. So what that's all about is this train here has 6 cars in the bowl. But do we really want to go ahead and do anything else? I'm going to go ahead and deal with a local yard because I don't know what cars are left for him. And once I've dealt with a local yard, that'll give me some time to figure out what's next. We may not even get to all 3 humps tonight because he's got another 96 car one coming up. So it's at 9:32 Eastern right now. We have 6 in the bowl, but you got activity taking place this next train. Yeah. So there's 6 cars in the bowl for San Diego, but I think it was already past due, so we're not going to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get 114 going here. These cars and for boron sitting in the local yard, and the next train out is actually West Colton, which really I don't know why they're all in there, to be quite honest. They were an old yard and they got brought up. Normally local yard has boron, but there's no boron train on the weekend. So it normally has boron and West Colton, maybe some San Bernardino. So unfortunately now we've got too many cars at the other end. So what I'm going to do is, I believe I have 2 tracks available. The best place to kick cars is from the west end, so you're going to get a treat in that tonight for sure. But I got to be careful as to what I'm doing with the others. This is why, I mean, if you don't get something, my advice is if something's vague, don't overly, I don't know how to say this. If you don't have instructions or the instructions are vague from the yard master, it's best to post and ask for further details. Don't use up the time, just ask for details from the yard master, because in that situation I would have never recommended having that many boron cars sitting there, because that yard is basically a 114 sorter. We do run departures from it as well, but we're not necessarily running all those trains from boron, and especially not until 0500 cycle Monday. Even though today is Sunday, we're actually on cycle Sunday. I think we're at about 8 p.m. at night. Let me just check to see that. Go to the welcome screen. Okay, so we're at 8:56 at night, so we are still 8 hours away. We got West Colton to get out. I don't know about another Bakersfield. No, there won't be another Bakersfield. So we definitely have a West Colton. I think we have a San Bernardino actually, but that'll be from Old Yard. So we're gonna look into that as well. Oops, I'm going in the wrong way here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I know. Current window is too small. Tell me something I don't know. Okay. So since I'm heading down there, what I might do is I might prepare Old Yard, since I'm heading that way. In fact, I might even have the option to work from Old Yard, depending upon what I got. So, as I was saying, the way the grade works here, Old Yard does have a bowl to it. However, you gotta be careful. There's some really cool tricks that you can actually play. You can actually throw cars from the west end of Local Yard. You could throw them all the way to Old Yard. If you throw them too fast, you could have some pretty nasty couplings and all kinds of issues, let's just say. If you do it at a controlled rate, which means you have to keep an eye on it, you know, set a handbrake, release once in a while, and just keep it at a controlled speed, then you can use it to your advantage. But it takes a little bit of coordination and doing two things at once. Ideally, you should have two people on it. You'd have a brakeman and somebody else, but of course you're just the trim job, so you're representing a 3-4 man crew possibly. This is the crossover here from the yard entry lead to the local yard drill. So we were on the local yard drill. We're now crossing over to the yard entry lead or drill, and we're going to set ourselves up to go into the yard here. But while I'm here, playing the role as yardmaster, and this is just rolling, I'm going to take a look at what's going on in this yard. So here's our West Coltons. These should be in local yard. I'm not too sure why they got brought down here. We always depart a West Colton train out of local yard, not down here. So they were there, but for some reason boron, like I said, was brought down. Rio X is fine, that's perfect. Their Pro Flames, that's fine. Normally Pro Flames would put over here, but we do have a lot of extra cars as well. We have the San Bernardino Grain, which is fine. So there is room. A lot of the capacity is being taken up by these extra cars here, and there's a Pro Flame over here, so normally we'll have Pro Flame down. We got one, two, well, those are two small tracks. West Colton will clear out, and I better watch what I'm doing. This is where you can get into trouble. Stop on the lead for now and check to see where I'm at. Alright. So now I am clearing this lead open. I could have left that switch, it didn't matter, but just in case I don't make it back in there for some reason, but likely I will be. So we've got two sets of borons. I believe they're all boron. Yeah. Alright. Let me see what this train predominantly has here. We got a lot of San Bernardino, some Cadiz, one West Colton, a lot of San Bernardino on this train. Some more West Colton. You know, I really would like to get down and hump at this end. Because then what I can do is take the boron and at least shove it down. So he's coming back into the hump. This is just like more or less a yardmaster thinking about. Sometimes there won't be. You're going to have to make decisions on your own, or you're going to have to make best guesses. So you're not always going to have, unfortunately, because it's not real time and everything, you're not always going to have the yardmaster there. There's a signal on. Well, that must have been for the train that already went through, I take it. He doesn't have the signals clearing or canceling external dispatcher. I'm not going to bother setting that up right now. I've got to worry about this. So San Bernardino's shoved down in a nice position. That's perfect for kicking. West Colton's not. It's at the other end, which really doesn't... Oh my god. I'm almost tempted. What I'm thinking now, what I'll do is I'll grab the West Coltons. I'll do a runaround, I guess. I really don't want to do a runaround here if I don't have to. But I may have no choice. So, okay. San Bernardino's on this track here. West Colton's on the track beside it. If I'm going to do a runaround, I should go down. It don't matter. At that point, it doesn't matter because West Colton's on this huge track all on its own. Okay, so you might be actually watching a live stream right now as I do this. So yeah, we got these North American cars. He's okay. He's doing his thing. He should be fine now. So I'm wasting time thinking here. I gotta just go ahead and do something here. Alright. I know I've been back and forth twice here already. I'd really want to go down in here. But at this point, I gotta get moving. So I went a little bit too far this way, so here's what we'll do. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually going to work Old Yard. Howdy, howdy. So I can't see the chat. If you guys are on the stream too, I cannot see the chat. I'm just basically seeing what you guys are seeing. So if you have questions, like you can always, once it's up on the YouTube, please post your questions. It'll usually go up about 30 minutes after the stream's over. Or if I see anything in the comments, I mean, I don't even think the comments reply to anything, so. But, what we're doing now, we've got 114, which is the slough track that I'm bringing into Old Yard, because we've got 2 out of 4 local yard tracks full right now of boron stuff. Boron doesn't leave till 0500. It is about 850 in the cycle right now, even though this is 550 Pacific, 950 in the east. The cycle time of where the current spot is, whoops, and I'm not paying attention, the speed's going over 10. I have the speed control set to 10, but again, I'm going downhill, so the counter's on. That's so that I know when I'm cleared the last switch. Now I didn't set a conductor at that end, which is okay. I could have done that, but I'll do that on my way through. We'll assume he's there, and then I'll set it. Okay, so we're under control now for speed. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up some stop cars at this end of the yard. Once I'm through, I'll be doing a runaround for the remainder of the cars, and from there I'll be kicking from the west end of Old. What time do we have? I can't remember what time we started at. Normally, if we had started right at 8 or 8:30 or whatever the heck it is, it's easy to calculate, but I always forget. We got 110 minutes, so I forget what time we started at. I think we started at 8:40. Oh, we probably got about an hour. And again, if we go over or we decide to go over, that's fine. going over is not a big deal if you're trying to finish a hump or whatever. I think it is 1040. Yeah. Let's check. I don't know. No, that's... Yeah. Yeah, it was 50 minutes after. I think you're right. I don't know. Yeah. So I'll hit Shift F12 just to put me at the back. Oops. And again. Ah, I hit the wrong thing. There we go. Control F12. Alright. So I got the indies going. I'm set on this end. The only reason why I'm doing that is so I can move light power for the rest of the way. So I'm clear of here. I'll Shift F1 just to get myself my conductor slot saved there. Control F11, put myself back in. I'm going to step outside now and see what we got. Of course, West Colton, which we can bring down. We got Bakersfield. Is that it, maybe? If we're lucky? West Colton, Bakersfield, and then... no, there was another West Colton, which is fine. San Bernardino's already down. Cadiz isn't got... Cadiz doesn't have cars here. Which isn't the end of the world because I can always set a brake. What I'm thinking of now is to put a stop car for West Colton. Or a stop block, really. Since we got all those cars down here, and maybe even Bakersfield. I don't need to do an SBD. So I will set a couple brakes here. And normally Bakersfield wouldn't be in here. But in this case, we've already had the Bakersfield train, so we're here now, so we might as well switch from it. We usually do that from the local yard, but we're gonna do it from this end. So we'll open the coupler here. Okay, brakes have held. We're on. Yeah, I saw that question about someone asked what the difference was. I saw that before I went in, and then I was just like, I don't have time to answer this. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was getting that question. I don't know if I got that question just as I was setting up the feed or not, but... Okay, so this is actually a good area to set up. We got ProFlame there. It's actually a good area to set up Bakersfield right there. We don't have any ProFlame cars, I don't think, with us. So what I mean by stop cars is, in case things start rolling, I want to have a spot where I can make sure that the cars do run into something. He's asking about the default Jeeps. BNSF. Conrail we use in for SJVR. I'll do a shift F2 or shift 2 here to put in another position, and then I'll get the counter going one more time just to see if I need any room at this end. Now, as you can see, it is a bowl because my speed's starting to slow down on its own. No difference, really. At least I don't find there's a difference. The difference between SDs and GPs, not really. Both work pretty well. Okay. Put some indies on. So I'm going to go Control 2 this time. Put myself back here. Get the switch going. I'm going to put Bakersfield into this track here. The rest is the West Colton, so I can't really kick too far here because they won't roll far anyways. I mean, there's a bit of a bowl, but it doesn't work as well as it does from the other end, I find. Kick. They're still rolling a little bit. They don't roll. Usually they don't roll that much, but I could be wrong. Whoa, going too fast. Go back to Control 2 there. Rest should be West Colton's, and I'll put that back to normal. Not that I have to worry about it, but wow, that went a long ways. Yeah, well, doesn't matter. So yeah, normally I would do this sorting right in local yard, but because I only had 2 tracks available, I really was in a pickle there. So I want to get the borons back over here eventually. But until I do that, I got to get this sorted out first. And it's not in majorly bad condition. That's not the point. The point is, I really don't have any room to work from. Usually 114 will have at least 3 sorts. I do have an outbound, I believe I have an outbound grain train coming up, I think. I gotta look into that again. I think it's on standby right now. I'm heading back down there. Yeah, he's still rolling. Jeez. There's your San Bernardinos. Yeah, West Colton's here. Okay. And I know this doesn't look too good in the stream. It really, when you're moving so quick, but that's okay. It looks great in the simulation. It just, in the stream, it doesn't look so hot when you're going massively fast down the line. Or moving a lot. Turning your head, stuff like that. You get a lot of blur. It's not that bad in the game. So these are the stop cars that I was talking about. Put it to notch 1 in case I roll too hot. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and kick this one. It's not going to kick far, but I already got Barstow cars on the end too. I forgot about those. Dang it. Oh, that's a trim. I was going to say, I didn't think I had those. Too far, but I'll try it anyways. Yeah, it worked that time. Sometimes it doesn't work. So that's a new stop car there. Let me double check and make sure I got my run through set. Sorry again for the bad display on the other end, but we are good to go now to get ourselves around back to our end. I could have just done a control 1 there. I forgot he was standing here. So here's our runaround track right here. Those cars can run right into the other West Coltons. It doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to check in with Mike, see how he's doing while I'm playing in the old yard here. Haven't had a chance to look at what is next to trim. Want to take a quick look for me? Normally the trim would do it, but he's okay. Want to go with a 40? can't even see the target on that because of the tree and the... Is that normally there? Okay. I know there's a bush in here that shows up every now and then, but I've never had to see it from that end before. So there's where the Bakersfield card's settled, which is fine. They don't have to be right at the end. Sometimes kicking from the other side works. I just find it doesn't work as smooth. It's definitely a bowl, but you still have a much better grade coming east due to the hump and the way everything from that end of the yard slowly starts to... like, I mean, there's a bowl in Barstow too on the west end, but once you get towards the hump, there's a grade that heads down. So when you kick a car, it's not going to go far into the departure yard heading west. When you kick a car in the local yard, it's definitely not going to go far. You'll be lucky if it clears the lead. So the two best places, if you are going to kick, is the west end of Old here, which is where I am going to be doing a little bit of kicking, and then the other way would be the west end of Local. So he's headed into the west end of receiving. Need the weed eater. Now I get to play with these San Bernardino cars. I think we got a whole whack of them already. So I'm going to have to I'll have to give it a little bit of a shove once I connect to it. And ditto with the West Colton cut here. And it's 10:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Of course, the clock here says 6:13 because it's on standard time, but it's actually 7:13 out on the West Coast right now in California at this location. So the sun's slowly starting to come down. Too tight on the clearance here. I have a tendency of doing that, you know. We'll see. Good thing is I don't collide here, but yeah, that's tight. I think I'll make it barely. And then probably lost an arm bar or two. Yeah, that's tight. Time judging clearance distance figure out what tracks are on what again. Oh, shoot. Oh, shit. Now, keep in mind, I was the engineer, not the conductor there. I just wasn't paying attention. Like I said. Trying to do too many things at once, you get into trouble. Of course, I was playing the role as the conductor and forgot that I was still the engineer. Okay, turn that light off for now. Speed control still active. So I can give it to notch 3 if I want it. I'm going to put shift F1 or shift 1 here. Just take a look above here, see what I got to deal with. San Bernardino, which we already have down there, that's good. West Colton's down there. Oh, awesome, okay. So I think I have this figured out. There's nothing on this one track here. I think we only got the 3, so hopefully I got that figured out. So I'm just checking with Mike. Priority, of course, is Barstow. This is just cleaning up a little bit. If for some reason he needs the trim first, then I abandon this. This isn't a priority. This is just kind of doing some house cleaning. That's pretty much needed at this point. So we got a good string of San Bernardinos, which is perfect. Indies again. I'm going to hit Control F7 again, although I usually, after every connection, I do bleed everything. I just want to make sure, especially because I am kicking. So for this one, we are dealing with the first 3. We got a West Colton there. I'm going to take one last look. I'll use the camera zoom just to be, if it works for me, because my mouse wheel sucks. Okay, perfect. So this will be an easy setup as long as I can remember quickly what I want to do here. He's going to take another look shortly. Perfect. Okay, so San Bernardino set. Awesome. So he's working the hump still. Sorry I wasn't able to show more views of the hump. You never know for sure. You get a game plan and then it just evolves. You can only plan for so much, and then you have to you got to take a shot at it. So I put it back into forward here, and I'm going to go ahead and put her up to notch 4. West Colton I'm going to have to grab onto anyways, so I lost the car. Oops. Oh well. Not the end of the world. It's screwed up there. I put the wrong broke the wrong pin. So I gotta shove this one too. Sometimes you gotta be careful because you might shove one and then it's not as fast as the rest of the train, so. Or it's faster than the rest of the cars, I should say. Should be okay this time. I'll just let that roll. Even if it doesn't connect, that's okay, but it should. So we got those cars rolling. Oh, actually, we're right here. Perfect. I don't know how much clearance we have, but if I can get one, that would be perfect. If I can't, then I think I got room for one. I'm going to try it. Ideally, you want to kick them all before you get to the switches, so you don't have to make another move, but knocked right up a 4. And I screwed up. And this happens too. Don't panic. It may connect. Usually it doesn't. It's probably gonna not make it now. It might. You never know. Probably won't. But you gotta wait till it stops. Which kind of sucks, but it's a waste of time. But that roll in between is basically it doesn't detect it once the uncoupling takes place, so you actually have cars that go in between others. So now I got to give this a little bit more of a so he's getting right behind. Yeah, so here you got to be careful because you're on a grade already, and that opened too soon. Even uncouple, you bugger. Oh, I know what's going on. I just controlled F7 again. Come on. There it goes. Okay. I think I had all the handbrakes still on. I hope it rolls into it, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Alright. Usually I don't have that much problems, but oh, it's rolling nicely now. Surprisingly. Awesome. So the hump controller is going on. I'll just take a quick look. I'll save my position there. See how everything went on the other side. We got the Bakersfields, the San Bernardinos together. Sometimes if it shoves too hard, it'll actually foul the switch. In that case, you have to flick the switch underneath it. Ideally, you want to ride it, but you don't have time to do all things at once, so I tend to get away with the realism and say, okay, somebody's got it set hard enough. I don't know. It's just me. It's not laziness, but I mean, you can't do 4 things at once. So what I tend to do in that case, and I'm sure the stream was looking horrible when I go back and forth like that. Why don't I just go this way? But see, I want to see what track I'm on to make sure, which I am. I'm good here. Okay. Just want to make sure. Don't want to screw up anymore. So I'll put it back into forward. Hopefully I'll hit the right pin this time. I better hit Control F7 and make sure everything is hunky-dory. Well, there's Cadiz right there. We haven't set a Cadiz track yet. I guess we're going to have to. I guess we can bring the Cadiz right down this track here. The one that we brought the runaround on. See how far we can shove it. So what he's saying is there's 13 minutes left on the clock. Again, that's just a rough time. If you want to be absolutely, like, I mean, it's 10:26 in the east. If we go by a midnight cycle in the east, theoretically you don't even have that much time. But it changes after midnight tonight. There'll be an additional 36 minutes added on. So we're only an hour and a half away from that anyways. So it's never exact, and even if it was, it doesn't really matter that much. The key is that there's a plan in place and that there's teamwork going on. That's all. I'm trying to get it before the switch. Did I do it? Oh, that's so close. I didn't have much room. Yeah. So because there's no other further connections, all the air is out of that, is all bled, so we're okay. I thought we had a Bakersfield car in here somewhere. I guess I was wrong. I think that's a network delay, but I'm not sure. It's probably my end. See, I'm used to being close to the server, so if I'm having network issues between my house to the internet, which could be the case, then that's where the lag's coming in, which is perfectly normal. You get used to it. So we've almost got this all sorted. Cars for Bakersfield too that we needed, but maybe we didn't. I'll take a quick look. Okay, I got one more. Too fast, but that's okay. Alright. So let's just take a quick gander. We got our West Colton. Did he? Oh yeah, he coupled. That's awesome. Perfect. We got our San Bernardinos coming together now. Oh, okay, here we go. Cadiz, we're rolling too much. Set the handbrakes, just like that. That's where you gotta have an eyes on both ways. And in this case, if it rolls too much into San Bernardino, it's gonna be coming at a pretty good speed. It is a bowl, but it's not a great bowl. It's not a perfect bowl, put it that way. The West Colton doesn't have to be all together right now. Like, I'll show you what I mean when this connects here. It's going to be fast, it's going to be rough, it's going to be unprototypical. But in reality, there'd be somebody... And here's the thing, too. If I set this, it might stop the whole car and I'll never get it connected. So I would rather it roll in. Ideally, I'd like to have a variable wheel. You know what I mean? So you crank the wheel just a tiny bit. But this is going to really crank. Now watch the cars move. See how they moved a little bit? Now, obviously, it's not going to couple it that much. You're going to have somebody riding the wheel on that, if you're going to do it at all. But see, there's the Cadiz is rolling. It rolled a little bit there. Now it stopped. So that shoved that car, all that weight shoved that car a little bit forward when it collected. So that was fine. So we do have some UP Norths. We got one more Cadiz car here. I won't even bother. It's one car, it's not going to make a difference. So I'm heading back. Heading back down. And the only thing I got left in the local yard right now is more on local stuff, which I really want to get out of there, but we got some stuff, we got some work to do. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, we're about 6 minutes to the end of the scheduled session. He's how many cars did he say? He has 15 cars to go. So we're in good shape. And we'll watch the end of his hump to end the day, and he's just going to take a break. And then from there, it's all about planning again. And I'll show you some of that. We got a little bit of time tonight, so we'll go back to the planning phase. I'll show you the updating part as well once we come to a stop. So Our time, whoops, I'll turn my light on here. Our time in the cycle is scheduled to end in the next 5 minutes. If it goes over, it's not a big deal. We do record it though. So if we ended right now, let's say, then there would be 5 minutes left on the clock that could be carried over for the next day. If we go over, then that takes away from time for the next day. That's all that's for. Just keeps us online because the yard's continuously active, the hump's active, the trim's active, just like it would be in a 24/7 operation, which this is. So we try to simulate it as much as we possibly can. And the other thing, what we just did there, we wouldn't be doing that much of that in the real Barstow because Barstow's a lot bigger. It's getting dark enough so I can put some lights on here. I switched them. Platform lights are on? Okay. They just didn't look like they were on. Yep, they're on. Okay. Still bright enough you can't see. Oh, okay, so he's 5 cars. He's done. Wow. Right on time. That doesn't happen every night. Usually that doesn't happen. So I believe I'm going to have to set myself to come over. We're going to be ending right on time tonight. We're going to use the whole 110. Now, of course, I mean, we had 3 trains to hump. We got more work to do yardmaster wise, so like I said, keep with us if you want to see that. Again, it's a yardmaster function, but it's all about the planning. And we should be going to about 11 o'clock this evening. Why, thank you. Yeah, I figured going with a shorter one was easier. Just because he would have had a longer train that he would have got it done, and then we would have been going over. And this potentially gives us on Tuesday, if we're running on Tuesday. Monday you won't have enough time either, so you're gonna have to wait till Tuesday anyways, or else you're not gonna get it all going. I'm just going to set myself up the switch here and shut her down, or get it past the departure guard track at least. While he is at the other end, whoops, hit the brakes. Barstow when it starts getting dark out. Well, I'll love anything, it really doesn't matter if it's Barstow or whatever. What I'm doing is I'm just pulling the cars as much as I can. Usually I like to I'd like to bring it into 114 here. And it's all set up to do that. Just so that I'm tucked out of the way. Relinquished? Aw, man. So he's relinquished. And I'm 1 minute over, no big deal. Don't have to be anal and say I did 111. Whole idea there is I want to get those engines off of this lead here in case DPUs have to be put on that end if anything's being released. So once he's clear of that lead, and you can still hear the coupling going on. What that is that there's still cars rolling in the hump. In fact, that's like really close right there, but that's okay. And the hump might push it in more. It has a tendency of doing that. So I leave lights on. I leave the switch set. Going after San Diego. Okay, so now he's getting himself set. Roger that, I'll help you out for a bit. Damn. Still hungry. Okay. So bear with me for a few more minutes. He's relinquished there. So he's humped that entire Kansas City train. As you can see, everything's led up there for a bit. Departure builds. I can update the counts in whole. Okay. So I'm going to do a be right back, and it's only going to take a minute, folks. I'm just grabbing something to eat because it's getting late for me here, so either I eat something now or I don't. So I'll be right back. Out of snack food tonight. I'm like, well, I always have snack food, but I mean like stuff that's easy to get to, like these frozen strawberries. For some reason, I knew I was out of some of the turkey bites I like to eat, or cereal bars or whatever. But I got these frozen strawberries, so perfect. One last drink of pop. You can see the cars are still rolling right in front of us. So I can't really do everything at the moment, but we will start anyways. As it says, no train, I am relinquished. Okay. So what we do in this situation now is we start looking at what has transferred. This is updating. I got to update my my time actually. So I put that to complete or something close to that, and we should be done here at about 11 o'clock. Usually I'm in bed by 11:15 or so. Give or take. So 110 minutes gives us 1 hour and 50 minutes of work tonight. submit that. That goes to 0. And he'll do the same on his end. He might have forgot. No big deal. He'll see it eventually. So, we do have counts for the old yard. They're not as urgent. We might do them tonight. I don't know. I'm thinking not. What's really important is the bowl and departure yard tracks. As you can see, that just changed the hump right before our eyes. Because what he's doing is he's updating through the registry. He just updated that he humped that train, which he has. And he's also humped this train here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start preparing I'm darkening the colors in between here just to get myself a visual perspective of how I'm going to update these counts. There's 0 there. I'm not worried about the 40 here, or the count, or even that for that matter. He's over at a rival yard. I'm not worried about that. He will set that to humped. That'll update to the 10th, just like that one just did, because it's the most recent entry. Actually, I'm gonna keep that blue, just so that he sees that. I'm sure he will, but so I put next hump Tuesday in the comments below for the 96 cars. We might come with a plan tonight. We may do the planning beforehand, or Monday possibly, or I might do it. Sometimes I'll do it there. So that just went to humped. He entered that. He's also entered his entry into here on his end. So this is all stuff. He didn't have to actually physically do that. The times are something that anybody can update, as well as updating the status to hump. So he didn't actually go in there. His cursor is not in here right now. That's my cursor, the blue. He had an orange one. He's actually using the same registry system that I used. I'll even close mine for now. So, that's been humped. And what we're doing now, the blue section still has to be dealt with. We didn't get to it tonight. It was just simply too many cars, which is fine. It is not a big deal. What he's going to be dealing with is the build, and he's already got a build up for San Diego right there. So I'm going to deal with that right away by taking the departure yard track here and deleting it, because the number of cars that are in there are irrelevant now. It is now set for build status, which means he's going to go in, get a train length and everything that's needed. He'll probably put a comment in there. Let me see here. Should we hold the VA bill to after the next hump on Tuesday? Let's see here. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let me see. July 8th. 8:40. Oh, it's in the bowl anyways. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one on our, basically something, instead of me playing around in the old yard, Yeah, that's one I should have dealt with. I did not see that coming. In fact, hmm. Now, this color yellow here means it doesn't always run on the same day. I believe it is running today, though. I'm going to make sure. We go to the Barstow, Maine, and these are the standbys. So we got San Diego. Bell can go today because it does run on a Sunday. Stockton's another one. Stockton can also build, so we're good for that. As you can see, he was just there, so he's checking in on that. So what's happened is the Vancouver Washington train, we never got that moved over to the departure yard, so that was basically an oversight on our part. The cycle creeped up a lot quicker than I guess we basically anticipated. We had 4 standby trains tonight, so unfortunately. Okay. So what we will do here is I'm just darkening that out, and you can see he's also into the sheets as well. Just checking to see what's going on. He's got local yard actually updated. Which is probably hasn't changed because I haven't done anything else with local yard. So now, what we want to do, Stockton Bowl was taken out beforehand, so the departure yard and here should be empty. So I'm darkening that one because it should all be ready to go in. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Stockton. Yeah, we did say we're going to put it there. He just put a build status for Bell. He'll do the same for Stockton as well. So he's doing this through the registry, and it's updating in the matrix here. We're going to go past just a little past 11 o'clock tonight. I'm going to start going through the counts right now. And then again, this is all Yardmaster function, what you're seeing right now. But gives you an idea. So now what we're going to do is we are going to verify what is going on or what has been moved in this end. We're only going to verify what we know has been changed. Now this is in order of time and not by track number. So we start with 101, and this is why we darkened everything, because you look right down here. If you look at the 2 blue, now we're not worried about this bottom line because it hasn't been humped yet, but the 9 cars added to the 7 should give us 16. So looking at track 101, which is Los Angeles, and you click onto it, then you have to Shift C, or shift the next one over. I can't even read my keyboard, but I know how to type, believe it or not. So I can't remember what key it is. I know how to type. It's just hard to explain. I know how to type. I'm an awesome typer, but I cannot tell you what that key is. Here, it's B. Okay. and you know, as I'm typing, I work that way because I can tell you. You know, I can type away. You say a word or a sentence, I can type it real fast and everything, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what that key is because I can't read the keys on my keyboard because I never use them. I know where they are. So, I mean, Control C is sometimes hard to find, but then it gets easy. I was like, oh yeah, C, A, B, C. Yeah, okay, I know where it is. Okay, so 10 loads. 6 empties for Los Angeles. We're good for that. I always scroll up, otherwise you start clicking on when you start changing screens. So 9 plus 7 is indeed 16. You're probably wondering how we came up with that number, perhaps. What that's all about, and I'm darkening this now, I changed it to 16. What that's all about is these are automated numbers that come in from the RTS software based on our waybill counts. The only times these alter is these little purple numbers here from Vancouver, because there is a drop and a lift at Bakersfield. And the other one that sometimes happens, I'm trying to think, anything that's built from Bakersfield or the Cadiz locals, they don't have counts, they have to be manually entered. Okay, so we've done 101, we're fine there. Let's move forward here. 102. Okay, so this was a different one. Originally we didn't have a green tag on it because this became the next hump, so that should be 102 should be 28. I'm going to type in 28 just to make sure we are okay. I'm still connected to this one, so I got to relinquish that. And indeed, 19 plus 9 is 28. That is good. So I can now darken this one. Yeah, normally what would happen is we'd have, if we knew we were doing 2, we didn't know which 2 we were doing, if we were going to do 2, blah, blah, blah. So that's why. The next one, again, this is coming from that optional one that we humped. Should give us 16 and 103. And 10 plus 6 is indeed 16. So, ideally, you know, I would like to get RTS set up for the lengths. That's definitely a goal of mine. It's not the top goal. I have other things that I want to get going, but lengths is something that really we should know. I mean, car counts are great. That's how our waybill system works here right now. Basically through car, it's once we assign the waybills, it's just all it's doing is taking the total number that we've assigned and creating a database or a log, and then from that log we just import it. So it makes it really simple. Okay, Stockton we moved beforehand, or did we? Hang on. Yes, we did. And we did cut it off because there will be another Stockton at 7 o'clock in the morning. That was a July 7th, so that was really close. We probably could have moved it again, but we didn't. We decided to move the cars over. So Stockton is already in a build, so this will go into tomorrow's Stockton, the 0700. So we've got 34, and we had to move it just to clear the track. So 34 cars should be there. We'll check here for 104. That was one of the first ones, if you were with us earlier on, that was one of the first ones we moved out with Stockton. And indeed we got 34. Check his the message in a second there. And the other thing with color codes here is these ones that are yellow, Stockton and Bell repeat because there can be more than 2 trains in a day. I'm not too sure if there's a Stockton in the morning, Monday morning or not, but there will be a Stockton eventually. Okay, hot box detector. Okay, so that's 104. Wow, it's almost 11 o'clock now. 105, 105, where are you? Okay, we're over here. So we wanted to get the Ricks off to South 5. So I'm going to put 38 for now, assuming that should be correct. I'll double check that. And I'll leave that blue for now. I'll darken this one, making sure that it is indeed 22 and 105. And indeed there's 22 loads. And there's 5 right there, so I'll click right on it. And there indeed is 38 cars. That should have been right on anyways from the last count we did, so. So Stockton's good. I can darken that. And I can also close that off as the fact. So we go on to 106. We should have 9 for Bell. For Bell and 106. I want to check 103 for a second. Is it Gal? Yeah. 16. I just wanted to make sure because I don't remember doing it for some reason. Just being on the safe side. Yeah, it's got 16. Okay. So Bell. Rickton. Yeah, Bell's next. Okay. 9 cars for Bell, indeed. So the reason why we're verifying that is if something's off, then we have to find out. So if there's ever a set-off or something we need to know, then we can investigate. And it's also just making sure that everything humps. So if the counts are right, then we can assume everything should be fine. So 107 toll, that should be up to 25 now. And it is. So far, so good. I'm just going to check the chat message there. Yeah, that's Dave. Okay. And 108 had nothing. And that's why you see the darkness, so you don't have to worry about it. Track 109 had 4 more Kansas Cities to make it up to 38. Yep. And then, yeah, just looking at past, there was 2 cars in that, so that's right. 110 should have 9 in it now for Lovelock. Those were the last ones rolling in, if I recall, too. Remember, we were seeing the cars rolling in after it relinquished. So there should be 9 cars there, and indeed there is. Welcome aboard. Oh, somebody's ready. Let's see. So that's 110. 111 should have 20. That's part of the Kansas City, one of the Kansas City strings, so that should be, and it was marked green because we knew we should have room for Kansas City tonight. Indeed, we have 20. I can darken this here and there. 112 should be up to 12. Or, sorry, no, yeah, that's right. I'm looking at this one here. Getting confused with the next one. That is a build, but the departure's set, or for build, I should say. So that's we're not worried about that now. Is it Watt? No, no, it isn't Watt. San Diego, that's right. San Diego's 12. We're good. Darken that. 113 should be 44. Nothing was happening. Watt should be 20. I'll just double check since I'm here. 20. Whoops, wrong one. Push that. 44 indeed. And finally, track 114 has 31 in it now. So for that one, 14, again, 114. Shoot, I forgot the number now already. Got 40. Okay, now this is interesting because we split it in the middle. This one we can't verify unless we go into the old yard. But everything else was fine, so I'm going to leave it. 104, oh, okay. I put the 34 over, so 31 was over here, and it went to 34. So this one goes dark automatically because we got a build for that, because once again it repeats, so that'll go into the Stockton for tomorrow. Bell, that's for tomorrow's. I'm just double checking on that one. I might have to. Or it should be in the bill. Yeah, it should be in the bowl for tomorrow. It's already in build status. So this is all going over to this side now, even though that's tonight's Bell and tonight's Stockton that has the build. So the departure yard here, in this case, that doesn't matter. We're okay for that. So this got duplicated over here on this side. That's okay, but we already checked the counts and everything. They were fine. Hope that makes sense. It was just because Bell and Stockton duplicate themselves over here. That's all that's for. But we already verified that the counts were indeed 34 and 9. I can check again, just to be sure. 34 and 9, 1046. That's 34. And I remember this one being 9. Yeah. So we're good. So 34 and 9 for tomorrow. And then Bell and Stockton over here are now empty, but the departures are on those tracks. So we're okay with this. Once again, we don't know. We know what's in the bowl. We did do a number, but we don't know exactly what's in the bowl, which is okay. I'm not worried about it tonight. So for now, we're going to do 31. Normally we keep track of it, but because we did a split in the middle of a train, and it was on 114, we really don't know, other than the fact that there's 31 cars over there. Old yard is not up to date because of that. So for that, then this gets darkened. That gets darkened. And for the bowl, I can change this now to July the 10th. Departure, I was going to check on that. I believe South 5. I've already checked that, so I think that's it. Everything else was already departure going out, so that's up to date as well. The old yard has not changed, or sorry, the local yard has not changed. The old yard has changed. I'm not going to deal with it tonight. So now we got 114s. We know they're okay. And we're good for, and we're basically good at this point. Yardmaster's instructions I'm now changing for July 10th. The time now is 23:10. I might have somebody talking to me here. Next work available, I'm going to put July 12th. And for here, I'm just putting standby for Tuesday. The builds are in place. Vancouver is still on standby. It doesn't show standby here, but we have 3 builds in place now. And we'll take a look at what's going on here. Frozen strawberries are melting again. I think we got some signals. Oh, we got another train coming through, actually. Just check the external dispatcher here, because I don't think we have an eastbound. One thing, oh shoot. Let me put the network on for a second. Just a reminder, guys, if you're running a train, try to clear off the signals. We got somebody there. I believe he's going into West Colton, so that's fine. But I think I've seen the lights on. I know we had a train go through earlier this evening. Over this way, I think it was. Yeah. Well, there's nothing there, so that's already gone through. So I'm darkening those signals. The westbound is approaching, as far as I know. This doesn't matter so much inside the yard itself. We just green those lights up. That's not a big deal. But you want to have the lights. Where the? Oh, okay, he stopped over here. I think. Yeah, he stopped over there. Okay. I was wondering where the eastbound train went to, but he stopped there tonight. Okay. So we do have a westbound coming through. That's kind of cool. So yeah, that's almost pretty much it now. I'm just trying to think. He's got the builds. Nothing wrong with the server. All client related. Yeah, there's been some issues. Okay. So I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Get a few more strawberries in me and call it the night. Finish my drink, and that's about it. So, just going to end things here. Barstow's in good shape now. I'll show you what's going on. We got a needle subtrain that's coming in. Everything's winding down. The train we got here. That's going up to North Bay on the Mojave sub. So I think we just have the one train. Oh, we had another train going on here. There's something going on at West Colton, I thought I saw. Unless he just ended. What is that? Something's going on at West Colton. I heard there was an issue here, but I don't know what that's all about. Maybe I should check with him. So, anyways, I'm not going to run this any further. I think there was some issue with the corruption. I thought that was fixed, but I believe Mike's on top of that. So, but yeah, I'm going to end the transmission for tonight then. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long. Hope it was informative. If anybody wants to categorize like certain sections of like what times certain events happen, just for notes or to help others, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'll try to do my best to go through there again and mention that there was a 30-minute delay before we actually started because this was a long video tonight. So thanks for hanging in there. I think this is about 3 hours, so it's one of the longest, but I appreciate it for you hanging out. And I don't know if we'll be doing any more Barstow ones in the near future, but thanks for coming out. If you like, subscribe on YouTube, share, whatever, comments, questions, I'll try to answer all I can. Okay, thank you very much, and you have a good night.